Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my summary for the book 1 inside the Ponniyin Selvan series. Ponniyin Selvan is a Tamil historical fantasy series that was published 7 decades back, and it has been the best-selling book series in Tamil ever since. It has been read across generations and cultivated so many fans over the years, and the main reason why I'm doing this summary in English is because of the release of the film in September. I want many more people to know about this Tamil series, which is very good in every way possible. There are so many Tamil summaries of this series available on YouTube, but there are not as many in English. So this is just my attempt in order to make you aware of the story of Ponniyin Selvan as a whole. I'm going to do summary videos for each and every one of the 5 books inside the series, so you can look out for them in the future really soon. At the same time, if you want to watch my Tamil summaries, they are also already available in the channel along with this video. You can definitely go forward and check them out also. So without any further ado, let's get into the video right away. Before getting into the summary of the first book, I want to let you guys know who are the characters available inside this book. The only difficulty which I faced while reading this first book was to follow all the different characters, because there are so many of them and all of them are doing their own storylines in different places, so it's not very easy to follow all of them without knowing who they are throughout the story. But the plot as a whole is not that complicated or difficult to understand. If you know the characters well, I'm sure that you'll be able to follow the story easily and enjoy it completely. It is also super fast paced, so you'll not be able to put down the books at all because it is really well written. Each and every character is really nice, so let's see who they are right now. I'm reading the series in Tamil, so all the names of the characters that I'm going to pronounce now are going to be the way in which we pronounce them in Tamil. I'm not sure how they are going to change some names in other languages, because there are some letters in Tamil which are not available in other languages. First, let's see the protagonists of the story, who are the Cholas or Solargal. The king whom we focus on throughout this first book is Sundaras Plan, who's the king who's ruling throughout the Sora dynasty. He has 3 children, of whom the first one is Aditya Karikalan, and he is building this fortress made of gold in Kanchipuram, and along with him we have his friend Partibendra Pallavar. He also has another friend named Vanitavans, who is sent as a messenger by Aditya Karikalan to deliver a scroll to Sundaras Plan and another scroll to his younger sister Kundavai. Kundavai is known as Ilaya Pirati, and she is residing in Palayarai, which is said to be the place from which the Chola dynasty started developing. Along with Kundavi, we have her friend Vanati, who is also a princess, and Vanati is to be betrothed to Kundavai's younger brother Arulmozhivarman, who is currently at war in Sri Lanka. And he is the youngest of all the 3 siblings and also the hero of this entire series, that is Ponniyin Selvan himself. Even though he is the main character of the entire series, we don't see much of him in this first book. We just get to know a lot of things about him and where he is, but don't see him as a person at all. When we talk about the antagonists, we just have 3 main characters, and of these the first one is the elder brother Periya Palvettarayar, who is 60 years old, and his younger brother Chinna Palvettarayar, and Periya Palvettarayar's wife Nandini, who is the main antagonist of this entire series. Now Nandini is just 21 years old, whereas Periya Palvettarayar is 60 years old, so the age difference between them in their marriage is very vast. Apart from the protagonist and the antagonist, we also have another main character named Alvarkadiyan Nambi or Thirumalayappan, who appears throughout the first book, but he doesn't affect the plot of the first book as much, if you ask me. The story starts with Vandiyathevan crossing the Veeranarayana lake and heading towards Tanjavur in order to deliver the scroll that is to be delivered to Sundaras Plan. While he is going towards Tanjavur, he meets Alvarkadiyan Nambi in a fight that is going on between him and a Saivite. Now Alvarkadiyan Nambi is a very stringent Vaishnavite, and he does not like anyone who is talking ill of his god. During this meeting with Vandiyathevan, Nambi tells Vandiyathevan that Nandini, who is the wife of Periya Palvettarayar, is his younger sister. After getting knowledge of this, what happens is Vandiyathevan goes to a small place in between Tanjavur and the Veeranarayana lake, where one of his friends named Kandamaran lives, and he lives in Kandamaran's place for one night alone. But what happens during that night is Vandiyathevan does not get sleepy, so he just goes forward and roams throughout the palace in which he is staying, and while he is roaming, he gets to know about the secret meeting that is happening between many small rulers under the Cholas, and the person who is heading this meeting is Periya Palvettarayar himself. Along with Periya Palvettarayar, we also see this palanquin inside which someone is sitting. Everyone has been thinking that Nandini is the person who is inside that palanquin, and Periya Palvettarayar has been taking her along with him everywhere he is going because of the age difference that they have. But during that meeting, what is revealed is that it's not Nandini inside the palanquin. Madurandagan, who's planned to overthrow Sundaras Plan and become the king after him. The motto of the secret meeting is to make Madurandagan, who's another prince, to become the king after Sundaras Plan. And the reason why this is a very heavily political plot is because after Sundaras Plan, the person who's to be in line for the throne is Aditya Karikalan, who's currently building this fortress in Kanchipuram. But the Palvettarayars plan to overthrow the Cholas and bring Madurandagan onto the throne because they can use him as a puppet ruler and rule the entire Chola dynasty as their own. Since the other small rulers also have a great benefit because of this, they also support the Palvettarayars. Vandiyathevan gets to know about all the secret plot that is going on. At the same time, what he notices is that Nambi is also seeing this secret meeting which has been going on, but Nambi does not see Vandiyathevan also seeing the meeting. After getting knowledge of this, what happens is Vandiyathevan leaves the place of his friend the next morning and heads towards Tanjavur. While he is going towards Tanjavur, he sees another palanquin which resembles the same in which Nandini was to be, but Madurandagan was in. So when he goes and hits the palanquin accidentally, what happens is the person inside the palanquin is not Madurandagan but Nandini herself. After seeing Nandini, Vandiyathevan tells her that her brother Nambi told him to meet her. Seeing the complexity of what all has happened and not to keep everything secret, Nandini asks Vandiyathevan to come and meet him the next day inside her palace. But Vandiyathevan cannot enter the palace as such, so Nandini gives him a ring in order to use and get inside the palace. After getting the ring from Nandini and loitering for some time inside Tanjavur, Vandiyathevan gets to meet this flower seller named Sendan Amudan, and he spends the night in his house so that he can go and meet the Cholas the next morning. So Sendan Amudan as well as his mother, who dumped, support Vandiyathevan throughout that night and send him to the Chola kingdom the morning. The main reason why Vandiyathevan has to get into the Tanjavur palace is to meet Sundara Solar and deliver him the scroll, but he cannot go and directly meet Sundara Solar because there is Chinna Parvetarayar whom he has to cross before him. So in order to trick him, what Vandiyathevan does is he uses the ring that was given by Nandini and says that it was given by his elder brother Periya Parvetarayar, and goes and meets Sundara Solar and delivers the scroll to him. The message inside the scroll from Aditya Karikalan asks Sundara Solar to get back to Kanchipuram somehow, but Sundara Solar cannot go as such to Kanchipuram because his entire lower body is paralyzed, and because of this he cannot move that easily. In order to do even everyday work, he has to depend on other people's support. Hence he is ruling from Tanjavur itself, and the Parvetarayars are kind of protecting him. During the time when Vandiyathevan meets with Sundara Solar, what happens is Periya Parvetarayar also comes to the palace, and because of this Chinna Parvetarayar understands that he's been tricked by Vandiyathevan, and hence he's going and imprison Vandiyathevan. At this time what happens is Sundara Solar, being the king, says that they have to treat him as a guest and protect him as much as they can. Since Vandiyathevan is turned into a guest now, he is given new clothes and jewels to wear. Since Vandiyathevan is also a person who loves wearing new beautiful clothes and jewels at the same time, he removes his old clothes and gives it to them in order to get them washed. The thing that he forgets when he is getting dressed is that the other scroll which is to be delivered to Kundavai is also inside the dress that he has given for washing. Because of this, the Parvetarayars get to know the message that is given inside Kundavai's scroll. Even after knowing this, when Vandiyathevan asks back the scroll, they give it to him and he tries to escape from the palace, but he cannot because he is kind of in this custody with the Parvetarayars. So he makes his plan to just go and sightsee inside the city of Tanjavur. He is sent into the city along with some guards, but he manages tricking the guards and escaping inside the crowd somehow. But what happens is he is not able to completely escape because he reaches the ending of the palace and there is this huge wall which is used as a protection from the external forces. And so the night time comes and he is able to see the single ladder at one point of the wall alone. So he climbs the ladder and gets to the top of the wall. At the top of the wall there is this woman who's waiting to take him to Nandini. But the main reason why the woman is waiting there is to take this magician from the palace's wall to Nandini. But the woman does not know that Vandiyathevan is not the magician because she's not seen either of them. So accidentally she ends up taking Vandiyathevan to Nandini. Nandini helps Vandiyathevan to escape from Tanjavur in exchange for a favor that he should deliver the message that is given as an answer by Kundavai for the scroll that is written by Aditya Karikalan to her. Vandiyathevan accepts Nandini's deal and escapes from Tanjavur with her help. But what happens when he is escaping is that he witnesses the attack on his friend Kandamaran by one guard from the backside. Since he is attacked from the back and Vandiyathevan tries to save him, Kandamaran ends up misunderstanding that Vandiyathevan is the one who stabbed him in the back. After rescuing Kandamaran somehow, he takes him to Sendan Amudan's house because him and his mother are well versed in the healing practices. While he gets there, the Parvetarayar's troops who are searching for Vandiyathevan also head towards the home. So finally Vandiyathevan escapes from Tanjavur and gets to Padayarai somehow and delivers Kundavai's scroll to her. In that scroll also, Aditya Karikalan calls Kundavai and asks her to get back to Kanchipuram because everyone is aware of the plot going on under there in order to bring them down somehow. But what happens after Kundavai receives the scroll is that she gives another scroll to Vandiyathevan, asking him to deliver it to Arulmozhivarman in Sri Lanka, asking him to get back from Sri Lanka to Tamil Nadu itself because there is something which is going to happen huge and he needs to be present here. During the same time that Vandiyathevan is sent to Sri Lanka, in Kanchipuram we see Aditya Karikalan and Parthibendran deciding to send Parthibendran to Sri Lanka in order to bring back Arulmozhivarman again. So we have two people who are headed towards Sri Lanka trying to get back Arulmozhivarman back to Tamil Nadu. Who ends up reaching him first and gets him back to Tamil Nadu is the main premise during which the first book ends. But in the beginning of the video, I said that Nandini is the main antagonist of the series, right? The main reason why she is the antagonist is revealed towards the ending of the first book. we go to a flashback in which all the three Chola siblings, who are Aditya Karikalan, Kundavai and Arulmozhivarman, grow up with three other children of a priest, and these three children are Nandini, Nambi and their elder brother. They've grown up together, but during that time itself, Nandini and Kundavai had some rivalries going on between them. At the same time, Aditya Karikalan was very fond of Nandini even from such a very young age itself. Because of some reasons, what happens is the priest's family move on to some other place and all of them grow up as such. The main reason why Aditya Karikalan is chosen to be the heir of the throne is not just because of the fact that he's the eldest of the three siblings, but also because of the fact that he's the person who killed Veerapandiyan, because of which a huge war ended and the Chola dynasty got strengthened. You might have a question why this Veerapandiyan comes into the story of Ponniyin Selvan as a whole. The reason is that Veerapandiyan was the love of Nandini and he was executed in front of her eyes by Aditya Karikalan because he was envious of the fact that Nandini loved Veerapandiyan and not himself, but he ends up not killing Nandini and just letting her escape away. We get small chunks from Nandini's past showing us how she became the queen of Periya after all the tragedies that happened in her life. Since her life was destroyed by Aditya Karikalan in the past, her main aim is to bring down the Cholas and demolish their entire empire. This is basically the main plot of the first book inside the Ponniyin Selvan series. So yes guys, that's it for today's video, and I'm sure that there are going to be other videos for all the other 4 books to be published really soon. If you did find this video useful in some way or the other, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.